Hello and welcome to lesson number 5 in our Topical Maps course. My name is Mark Möller, and to get started we do a recap of what we have talked about before. In the last lesson we've looked at how you can explore potential topics for your maps using Wikipedia and other resources, and together we've built this topical map out. Now we need to find out what the titles should be for these folders. So we are building a topical map for a family law service, and we already know that we want certain things to be covered. For example, we know that we need to have a folder about divorce, and we prefer a physical folder structure. Again, just to recap, because it's been a while since the last video, the physical folder structure means that for every topic we have a specific folder that looks like this. So our divorce folder would be this one. But the question is now, what should be the title of this divorce folder? And that will be part of what this video covers, how to choose the title and how to analyze specific search results, SERPs, to find keywords that you can write about. But before we jump into those keywords, let's have a look at generally what we are trying to achieve here with the topical map. So we want to achieve the lowest cost of retrieval possible for a search engine. Why? Because then it's cheaper for a search engine to understand your content and to serve it to users, and therefore you will rank better. So to the how can we achieve this lower cost of retrieval? Essentially, every page title, every heading, paragraph, sentence, and image needs to be optimized for a search query. Imagine it in this way, that every image on your website is so high quality that you are going to be ranking in the #1 spot for image search. And therefore, when a search engine spends the resources on your site, it can be confident that it will serve the users very well and it's money well spent essentially for the search engine. And the same with the titles and headings. The opposite would be if you create articles on topics where there's no search demand at all, or you create articles on topics where you actually cannot rank because, let's say, it's a news website. The whole first page of Google is full of news websites, yet you still publish an article on that topic and the search engine won't serve you for that topic. And therefore, your website would have a higher cost of retrieval because you're asking the search engine to index your pages, but you're not actually being able to rank. So if you give yourself a score out of 10, how well does your web page respond to the possible queries? Queries meaning just keywords. Okay, so now the steps that you can take is to analyze the competitors' pages and then find out gaps where you can create content that will qualitatively be better than the competitors' articles. The technology that Google can use to assess that is passage ranking, because passage ranking can go deep into your article and find out answers to questions that searchers have. Meaning there could be an answer about how long does the divorce process take, but it's far down on your page and it's not even the title of the page. But if you have a very concise answer and somebody has that specific question, let's say how long does the divorce process in Chicago take, then your page can rank for that. So staying on the lowest cost of retrieval, the team from Google has said on the Search Off the Record podcast that they're not able to index all of the pages on the internet. So that means that Google is being very picky on which pages they are going to serve, simply because the internet has grown too large that even the largest search engine in the world cannot index or show all of the pages in search results. So that's where you need to stand out with your website to show to Google that you indeed have the lowest cost of retrieval and that you are worthy of indexing and ranking. Now to the higher quality page score. So here in row number 3, we want to achieve a higher quality score per page. Quality scores, Google has said that themselves in their documentation, are site-wide signals, meaning if you have 1 or 2 bad pages, they could drag down the whole scores of your whole website. And I've seen that myself when I've done content pruning, meaning removing articles that perform poorly. The rankings of the whole website have shot up and improved. So how you can tackle that is to write better articles, better user experience, and to end the search that the user had on your page, meaning that if you provide such a good user experience that the user gets the answer there and the user is confident that you are the authority resource, then there's no need for them to usually continue a search, and the search can end on your page and the user won't bounce to competitors' pages. Okay, so deeper topical coverage and wider topical coverage, we discussed that later in a little bit. I want to first look at how Google is actually indexing your pages and how Google thinks about topics. So let's look at this graphic here. Make this bigger. So we've got two topics here. We've got one website that wants to rank for dental implants on the left-hand side, and a subtopic of, or the main topic of dental implants or dentistry would be medical. Under that we have dentistry. Then getting more specific, we have dental implants, then bone grafting, and then you can talk about specific bone grafting materials. This essentially displays the depth that you can have for a website sitemap. So getting deeper and deeper into a specific topic, and then depending on how much you want to cover about it, you can type here, you can cover here, for example, the bone grafting materials, benefits of using human bone versus animal bone, for example. Bone grafting, animal versus human bone. Okay, it's not really important that you understand what these things mean. Certainly if you haven't done SEO in the dental industry before, this doesn't have to tell you anything, but the point is that with the topical map, we're trying to assert to Google that we are experts on a very specific thing. And what we want to achieve with it is to tell Google, for that exact thing that your business does, that you're an expert on that thing. So if you want to rank your website specifically for bone grafting, then you need to have more articles on that topic, but also still cover the main topic. And so what you need to achieve with a good topical map is to both create good depth, but to the appropriate amount. So if you wanted to just rank for dental implants plus city, and this is your goal essentially, dental implants in Sydney or New York, wherever it is, then you probably don't need 20 articles on the topic of bone grafting, because it's a small subtopic of dental implants. You would need one article, but it would be incorrect to write multiple articles about that. So you need to find the correct depth when it comes to writing your articles. We'll look at the wideness, or how broad you can cover a topic here. So in another website, let's say we want to rank for the keyword car crash lawyer. Again, let's say it's car crash lawyer in New York. So you need to cover car accidents, and then here again we're looking at the depth. So from car accidents we go into accident types, then into truck accidents, and then 18-wheel truck accidents. They all need to be covered on your site, but you also need to cover the topic of maintenance. Even though technically a mechanic is an expert on that and not you as a car crash lawyer, but because Google thinks about topics not necessarily in the way humans do, but more in the terms of a vector space model, which assigns a mathematical value, which you can think about it like a GPS coordinate. So car accidents have a specific GPS coordinate in Google's system, and car maintenance also has a GPS coordinate. And they would be not too far away from each other. You could create sentences like that: poor car maintenance has led to the car accident, right? So when you can put these things together into one sentence, and for it to still make sense, then likely Google has seen those documents as well that contain these sentences. And that's why you need to cover the topic of car maintenance, even when you are a lawyer, and normally lawyers would not cover that. So that is about how broad you should cover a topic, or how wide your coverage should be. So now let's talk about picking the right page titles. I like to use SEMrush Keyword Magic for that. So the idea is that we first have found our folder structure, meaning that we have our folder called divorce, And we know that we need to talk about divorce because logically it just made sense to us, or through our Wikipedia research we have found that when it comes to family law, there's the topic of divorce that's hotly discussed. So we do need a folder for that and a page title, but we don't quite know exactly what the page title for that should be. So in this step, I like to go to SEMrush Keyword Magic and check out just the root of the word. So for divorce, it would be just divorce. But for other things like car crash lawyer, for example, you might be able to just say car crash law. If you have car accident lawyer Sydney, you want to rank that, you would just go with car accident law or just car accident lawyer. Just the most basic version of the word so that Google will find you all of the other variations. SEMrush will find you the other variations of the word. And then it comes down to what angle you want to write about. So what would be wrong is if you're looking to write about a car accident lawyer topic and you'd pick a topic called top 5 best racing car helmets, because that's more of a product related keyword search term. It's kind of a trending type of search, and it would be too distant, even though kind of car and car appears in there, but you can tell that it's too far away from the main topic. Similarly, if you're going for divorce lawyer, you should not cover the royal divorce or some kind of celebrity divorce sites, because news websites are dominating there, and it's again too far away from the main topic that you're looking to cover. But I will show you now how you can find better topics. So here we are in SEMrush Keyword Magic. We've typed in the broad term divorce. We can now see the search volumes. This here is for Australia. And right off the top, we can look for keywords that would be a good fit. So we're definitely looking for high search volume keywords because we want to prove to Google that we can create content that is worthy of ranking and outranking other competitive websites in order to establish ourselves in our topic. Ideally, we want a mix there, so we don't just want high search volume keywords. We want, I would say, 1 to 2 high search volume competitive pages, and then also a few easy to rank pages. The easy to rank pages allow you to get user data, to collect clicks and impressions, and to be evaluated by Google. And the high competition pages, they allow you to basically show Google that even for very competitive topics, you're worthy of ranking. And this strategy can accelerate your growth, whereas the traditional strategy is to just go for low search volume, long tail keywords that have low competition, at least when you're starting out with a fresh website. But I think it's important, in particular, because we're using this strategy where we use folder structures. That's where you need to actually cover a competitive topic quite often, because otherwise you would run into the problem that you don't quite know what to write inside of this divorce folder here. You can't really cover this divorce folder with a low competition keyword. You need to have usually a competitive one, like what is divorce, or divorce process, benefits of divorce. I'm just saying that in general, you need to go for quite competitive keywords here. Okay, perfect. So have a think about, for a divorce lawyer, which one of these do you think could be good? You can pause this video and think about these keywords here for a second. Okay, so divorce application would be awesome. That's definitely a really good one because it shows the user's intent to get divorced. They're looking for an application for it. And anything that has the search intent that our business serves to the user, our business serves people who want a divorce, that would be great. So definitely divorce application would be good. Divorce rate is also fine. There we can show statistics about divorces, mention competitive other authoritative resources like people who are industry experts. We could kind of write it as an interview style and mention the statistics from them. This one here would be bad. The royal divorce, I had mentioned that previously already. again, this would be too off topic and it wouldn't establish us as an authority. Only if you actually are a divorce law firm specifically for royals, then yes, you can cover that, but this would be usually a bad topic. Divorce application, QLD stands for a state here in Australia, Queensland. This one would be good if you are based in Queensland. And then we have divorce papers as well. So once you've done that for each SERP, I would dive in and find out if there are any of your competitors already there. That gives you a good indication. But even if there are no competitors, it can still be good to go for that. So let's have a look at the SERPs here. So we have, let's see, just divorce application. So we got a government website ranking there, another government website, and then another government site. So it looks like a lot of government websites are there, but we also have then the Adelaide family law coming up. So this is a kind of competitor that we have here, and they're coming up with a really poor page for that. It looks like they haven't actually optimized or SEO'd the page for this, so it's like looks like they're ranking by accident. And when you see competitors ranking by accident for a keyword that has 4,000 searches per month, that would be a really good way to get in there. And I can already think about how to create a better article by making this per state, for example. So what the government sites are ranking here right now is linking to the actual application form or the portal, yet that other website is not doing that. So this would be a way to improve that. So now we're looking here at a divorce statistics article. This one was for divorce rates in Australia. I don't quite like this one as much for our root topic. The root topic being here the family law and then / divorce, because it's not really at the center of what we do and not at the center of what the customer wants at the business wants to do. So again, the business helps people who want a divorce, and therefore we can say confidently that the application is much more relevant. So divorce application is directly relevant to the people who want a divorce, right? That's why I would say using that for the main folder structure is a lot more powerful compared to the statistics. So the main folder would then be divorce application for the title. And then under that, we would have another page for statistics. So just call this stats for short here for now. But I think you get the idea that my reasoning behind not wanting statistics as the root folder, because it's not directly connected to what the business does. And the goal with that page is not necessarily to outrank the government websites. They may very well be still a better solution for people. Looks like they actually have put together a pretty decent article here on these government websites. So I'm not looking to outrank the Family Court of Australia. That would be difficult. But just being able to rank on the first page, which the competitor had already done, that's essentially the goal. And I think we can achieve that for this high search volume and impression keyword. So the goal there is really to just take impressions and create a high quality page that is useful to users. And yeah, that explains the whole divorce application process. And I hope that gives you a good idea of how I would choose the pages and page titles of what to go after and what to avoid as well. And this idea of creating a higher quality article we've covered here on line 6 for a high competition keyword, because we're signaling to the search engine that we can satisfy very competitive search queries with our page and with our website. The way we do that is by having the correct entity relationships that match Google's knowledge graph, as well as the entity attributes and values that Google expects for that. So just a reminder, the entity attributes and values are things like the height of Michael Jordan being the entity, the attribute being height, and then the actual value being 2 meters roughly tall. And then for the entity relationships, Google extracts those from text. So we had an example previously in the course that Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla. So that's the relationship between the entity of Elon Musk and the entity of Tesla, and that being the job title of CEO. So Google can extract those things. Where SEOs get confused is that, yes, the keyword frequency still works, and some people think that to take that to say that that's the only ranking factor that there is, but basically the search engine works in stages where for some things the frequency of keywords is an important factor, especially in the beginning when Google just tries to figure out what keyword should we even try this page for, what kind of indexing chart should we add this to, and so on. That's where the keyword frequency has a big impact. But later on, other technology like passage ranking, for example, definitely kicks in, and Google spends more resources on your page.